working too good, so...
The best way to drill holes in stainless steel and other metals by Wojnarski. Step 1, measure and mark where you want your hole to be. I'll be doing 1 inches down, 1.5 inches over. Center punching next. It's important to center punch, especially in metal. It keeps your drill bit from walking, and center it on your mark. I usually hit the punch twice. First is a light one to make sure I'm on my mark. Then the second is a deeper starter hole. I'm going to be doing multiple parts here if you care to stick around for another 22 parts, I think, something like that. Another 9 minutes, that's up to you. I understand if you don't want to watch. I'm going to clamp a flat bar right here. That's my stopper piece to clamp the parts in. You'll see in a minute. I'm kind of fortunate here that I have a mill drill and a nice vise on there, so I could clamp the part in, butt it up to the stopper, and go from there. I'm using a small drill bit first. That's your key thing. You want to use a small one first, like 1/4 inch or smaller, especially with stainless steel. But the smaller the drill bit you go, the more accurate your hole will be. But I'm using about, I think it's 1/4 inch or 3/16. It's been like a couple months since I filmed this video, so just going off the top of my head. But I'm drilling all these first holes first. So I'm doing a 1/4 inch bit on every part. You can kind of see how these jaws on this vise, they have like a little lip there. It's not fully sitting down on there, so it kind of grabs on a little bit. I think it's like a South Bend vise. Not bad, pretty good. And then another key thing is you want to keep pressure. There's like 3 important things. You want to have a sharp drill bit, keep pressure, and always have oil on there. Especially with stainless steel, you do not want to overheat your metal. If you overheat it, it'll like work harden, and you will not be able to drill through it. It kind of hardens, and you'll regret heating it up like that. Once you learn once, you will remember that again for the rest of your life almost. Ask me how I know. Now I did all those 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to be sizing up to about, I think it's 7/16. Now it's not the sharpest, so I'm fortunate again. We have a drill bit sharpener here. I forget what it's called. Drill something. If you want to know more about it, ask in the comments and try finding out what it is. I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace for like $500 or something, but they come in really good hand, especially if you work with stainless steel or other metals a lot. Not too hard to work it out once you figure it out. Sometimes you have to redo it, like redo your sharpening, because it's not like perfectly even or has like a bigger chip in there or something, but you'll see. Clamp it down. Now your first, what do you call it, your first hole at a 1/4 inch, you could go higher speed, but the higher you go, or the bigger drill bit you go, you want to slow down your speed. The first drill bit, the 1/4 inch, I did low 3, which is like 345 RPMs. Now I'm bumping it down to low 1, which is about 90 RPMs. So somewhere around that ballpark. You don't have to be exactly there. That's just what this machine does. But the slower you go, the better it'll be. You see how the drill bit slips a couple times. Funny thing is, this is a Jacob's chuck, and this is like our 3rd one of this kind that always ends up slipping after like a couple months of using it. If you know any good chucks, comment please. But it always ends up slipping on the drill bit, and it's hard to tighten the key and the drill bit down. Not too bad. There's a hole right there. Can't complain. Put a little bit more oil on it. You can't over oil. It's never a bad thing to over oil, but the more you oil it, kind of leaves a mess and all over your drill press and everything. which I kind of hate doing. But if you only have like one set of drill bits, I'd rather over oil it and have good drill bits than under oil it and wear all my bits out. Or if you don't have a sharpener or whatever. See how that drill's kind of slipping again? That's what happens with this one. Now, not much to it, just fast forward it and everything. That stopper really helps. Now these holes do not have to be super accurate. These are going to be anchored to a wall with redhead anchors. So I just marked out one set and put the stopper on each one. As you can see, just marked out one and then drilled one hole and then bumped it up the size for each one and then moved over to the other hole and did the same thing. Stopper comes in handy though, you can see. Another hole, doesn't look bad. Now here you can see how I messed up. I think it's like a 3/8 redhead or something like that, and there's two different redheads and one of them fits and one doesn't, so I'm gonna have to end up bumping up the size just because I don't know what size redheads the customer's gonna use, so I don't want him to have to buy redheads and they don't fit, so I'm just gonna bump it up to the next size. So I don't know if you want to stick around, but here it is. Now this is a little easier because it's already like, I'm like one size bit away, like a 32nd or so. Cleaning off your drill press, that's another thing it's always good to do. Now this is a little block I put down. I'm going to end up deburring them after. I just put a little flat bar down. You'll see in a second. Flat bar, clean off all the shavings. Now I put a piece of wood 2x4, 2x6, whatever you want to call it. Level it down, but that flat bar actually helps keep that plywood level, so you do not have to really level it out. Keeps it pretty accurate. Little trick I kind of discovered. I'm sure it's nothing special. Everybody probably knows it, but helps me out, so I remember it and try sharing it with people. Now, for deburring or countersinking, really deburring, just taking all the burrs off, I use a bigger drill bit. It actually works a lot if you don't have like a nice countersink or something. So say this was a, what do you call it, a 7/16 or half-inch hole that I drilled. I use almost a big, like 1-inch drill bit. That works pretty good, but you want to make sure it's sharp and go slow. The slowest setting that your drill press or your hand drill has, the better it'll be. Yeah, I think this was like a 1-inch drill bit, pretty sharp. 1 and what's it, like 1/16? Just go slow, give it a little burp or whatever you want to call it with the handle, a little pressure on it. And be careful when you touch it with your fingers. You do not want to cut your fingers on it. That's why I wipe it with that little brush, kind of helps. And just repeating the process, not much to it. And again, I guess just like an overall thing, 3 important things is just have a sharp drill bit if you can, steady pressure, you kind of want to have like good pressure on it, and oil. Always have oil, especially if you're doing a hand drill. And sweep up, that's another good thing, can't go wrong with that. Nice clean work area, leave it for the next guy or yourself, and hopefully everybody learned something from this. If not, give it a thumbs down or a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, whatever all that stuff is, you know. Thanks for watching, everybody, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Not the best, not the worst, decent hole, and it'll serve its purpose. You'll see in a second what the finished product is. I believe they're for a wastewater plant to hold PVC pipes. They'll get mounted to that, I think. And that's it. all stainless steel type 316.